Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly update, number 6 here. I'm your host, Justin White, today. And these weekly updates just give you guys a reminder. It's really the weekly update from K&D, what's going on in the field, what's going on in the arena of business and the landscape industry, giving you guys some trends, giving you guys some real life insight on what it's like to run a growing $20 million company. This is stuff that I wish other people would have done as they grew to size, 100 million, 500 million in revenue within the green industry. And that's really what we're aiming to do and why I'm going to document the entire journey. It's exciting. It's fun. I enjoy doing these, and I hope you get a little bit of value out of it. So week 6, here we are. It's first week, really the first true full week of quarter 3 after the 4th of July holiday. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July. And we're getting into a busy travel season at K&D. We've got a big conference coming up the next week, which is going to be the Lean Scaper Conference. Mark Bradley and his team are putting that on. Super excited and honored to be speaking there. The week after that is the Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference. If you guys have not checked either of those out, check them out. And we have our Disruptor Social happening July 24th, Thursday night in Las Vegas during the Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference. Going to be a fun one. We rented out the top floor of Old Red, Blake Shelton's bar in Las Vegas. So live music, free drinks, great food, great people. Should be a fun time. If you guys are going to that event or you're in the Las Vegas market, stop by. You can check out jwhitegroup.com, go to our events page and grab your tickets. Yeah, busy week at K&D. So like I've been saying, if you're keeping up with the weekly updates, we've been having our planning sessions. So we had our leadership planning session, then our divisional planning sessions last week. And this week is a culmination of that process that we do every 90 days, which is our all hands planning session. We're going to bring in all of our managers, basically supervisors and operation managers, production managers, and above. We will be talking about strategy. We will be talking about the plan for the next 90 days. Also, I'll be giving a little bit of an insight on what the next 12 months looks like, because I want to make sure everybody is crystal clear about where the company is going. It's really important for me that everyone knows what the next 90-day looks like in very clear detail, but also what's the next 1, 2, 3 years look like, so they can start to picture themselves in that future state, in that future company, hopefully at an elevated position than we are in today. A couple other things that are happening this week. We're doing annual budgets for our maintenance clients. Not everything is happening this week, but really July is when we start to hammer down on these, make sure that the budgets are aligning with our clients' expectations. Where are they at in 2026? I hope it's going to be a little more positive than 25. We've had a lot of clients just say, look, we're not trying to spend any money on our properties this year. Just keep them functional, keep them looking good. Economy seems to be doing okay. We look like we may have a rate cut or at least no rate increase on interest rates coming up in September, which could indicate a really strong Q4 and Q1 of 2026. We're pretty bullish on 26. So while we're not going full in on a bunch of big increases like maybe we have during COVID, we want to make sure that we get those budgets in for our clients that pushes them to do some improvements, improve the value of their properties, improve the value of maybe their retail or their rental property or their hotel or resort, trying to get those vacancy rates down and increase their tenancy there going into 26. So we're big on budgets right now. It's a big focus of our team. We've got a new member coming on board that we're really excited about. He started July 7th. So we're working on a big onboarding process there. You know, when you're bringing on a new team member, I think it's incredibly important to have a really well thought out 90-day onboard process. And for a technician or entry-level person, it may not need to be very robust. As you climb the ladder up into a branch manager or above, it needs to be very robust. It needs to dictate exactly what that plan looks like, what success looks like. When are you introducing them to clients, and when are you introducing them to other team members, all that kind of stuff. So onboarding's critical. We got some new team members coming on board, which we're super excited about. We're in the peak season here at K&D, and we're really feeling the momentum turn. We focus on this idea of a flywheel, and you do the small things right, the big things start to fall into place, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So pretty exciting right now at K&D, very optimistic about the next 6 to 24 months. Looks like we got a good vision going forward. But I want to talk a little bit about employee success. And no particular reason why it's this week. Maybe it's the onboarding thing we're doing or something else. But, employee success is such a key part of what we do at K&D. We use a tool in this called Greenius. Greenius is a learning management system specifically made for the landscape industry, whereas most learning management systems, or LMS, focus on leadership development, focus more on your soft side of skills, right? Your emotional, your EQ and your leadership capacity. While Greenius has some of that, it really focuses on the actual work being done. Safety and technique in pruning and maintaining landscapes and installing landscapes. So employee success to us means helping our team members be successful. And one of the big parts of this is simply calling it employee success team versus calling it the HR team. So we changed from HR to employee success in 2022, and that's been a revolutionary change for us. Not only has it helped our culture be just more positive around employee success, but it's given us the ability to focus on what it says. Instead of focusing on human resources and risk management and trying to protect the company, which obviously is important in California, our employee success team is focused on helping our employees succeed. Now, you need compliance and you need regulatory oversight and risk mitigation and all of that. You need to make sure you're doing things legally and correctly, of course. I mean, I think that's a given. But if HR is only focused on that, it leaves your team members to be left without a leader or left without direction of how do they succeed at the company? How do they grow as a leader? How do they build their capacity to take the next step and grow their career to the point of success, of where they see themselves in the future? So when you divide those two and you have compliance maybe under finance or over here on the left side of the company, and then over here on the right side, you have employee success and a team dedicated to helping the team members and employees succeed. That's what we've done at K&D, and it's been a huge benefit, a huge net positive in our company. It's cost some money. Yeah, we may have an extra person on overhead because we have that separation between compliance and employee success and leadership development. But what it's given us is the ability to focus on that, the ability to focus on employee success and create growth plans, create successful opportunities for the team members to grow into. So I want to encourage you guys to really look at your HR and look at your employee success side of the business. How are you doing in that ballpark? How are you doing in the idea of giving clarity to your team members? Are you providing them with enough fulfillment, enough clarity into what success looks like? Do you have growth plans that outline what their next steps are and how they can go from maybe a gardener one or a tradesman one to a crew leader? Do you have growth plans that explain how to go from a crew leader to a supervisor to an account manager? You see where I'm going with this? This type of vertical ascension is key in a company that is trying to grow. And I know most of you listening to this podcast are landscapers that are looking to grow. You want to be successful. You want to grow your team. And what I found the best way to grow is truly from within, promoting those team members and helping them succeed. So that is EST. I thought I'd bring that up this week just because it's one of those things that I think is a great thing to do in your company, and wanted to highlight that for you guys. All right, so the next topic here on the week update number 6 is a little thing from Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary, as you guys might know from Shark Tank, he's kind of like the brutally honest entrepreneur who tells you like it is, no matter how it makes you feel. He is brutally honest, and he believes that very few people are going to be successful in what they set out, and most people are going to fail, which is okay. Just know that you may fail when you try to do something, and don't give up after the first failure. But one of the main things he talks about is this idea of speed over perfection. He says, you'll never be perfect. So stop trying to be perfect and just try to be fast. Now, I don't think that means to be reckless, sloppy, and lack quality. But when you're trying to come up with a new idea, you're trying to take a new service to market, stop trying to make it perfect. Just get it to market and know that you're going to have to change it along the way. The feedback from your team, the feedback from clients, the feedback from vendors as you start to actually go live with your initiatives is going to be key in making that initiative better. So speed over perfection, I think, is a great idea to embody within our organizations, within our leadership teams, especially the people who are making decisions. When you have a decision to make, it's better to make a bad or a wrong decision than it is to not make a decision at all, because at least you can get feedback. At least you can make progress on whatever you're trying to accomplish. And we've talked about it before. Progress is everything in business. It's everything in life. So speed over perfection. But I also want to counter that a little bit. And I want to bring up something about doing too many things at once. Now, speed is key. And I want you guys to improve. I want you to disrupt the industries that you are in. But I also don't want you to do so many things that your core business, your core focus is diluted. Your core focus is watered down. So what I want you guys to think about is I want you guys to think about, what can I do the best in my market? What can I do the best in my industry? And focus intently on that. And when you think about speed over perfection, how can you make that one thing you do really, really well, that one thing you do better than anyone else? How do you make that even better? So a lot of times we will find something like that and we'll be really good, the best at something. And then we'll say, okay, now that we're the best at that, we're going to start trying to be the best at other things. Instead of increasing the gap and increasing that separation you have from everybody else on that one thing that you're the best at, we call it the we've arrived syndrome. Now that you're the best, you kind of stop focusing on that. Well, that gives everybody else a chance to catch up, and now you're no longer the best. You may become better at other things, but if you're the best at one thing, let's say you're the best at lawn care in your market. You're the undisputed champion. Everybody knows you do the best work. And so you start focusing on bed maintenance, or you start focusing on install work, or you start focusing on irrigation work. And now your lawn care division becomes just average, or maybe top end of average, but no longer the best. Versus going and doubling down on lawn care and saying, we're going to be the best at lawn care, not just in our market, but every market surrounding our market. One segment out. Another 30 miles. And we're going to partner with irrigation providers, with installers, with bed maintenance type companies, and partner with them to provide lawn care, because that's what we do. That's who we are. So if you could be really, really good at one thing, you niche down into that thing you're the best at, that's where speed over perfection really creates an advantage, versus accomplishing success in that one area of lawn care and then trying to do everything else, which I think I've made that mistake. I think we're still, in some ways, making that mistake at K&D. Like, we've been trying to roll out this new high-end residential maintenance side of our business, which we currently offer very little services in that area. We've wanted to scale that up every year, and we keep not doing it, which I think is a win, because when you go in and start offering something new and you're great at commercial maintenance, and then you start doing estate management, the chances are one of them is going to suffer. And you're probably not going to be great at the one thing you're doing new, and you're probably going to be worse and worse off on the thing that you've always been doing, because you're now focusing on something else. And now you're average at both things versus just doubling down on that one thing you're really good at. So I just want to leave that with you guys as a thought process going into the next week. Now, the next thing, and this will wrap the episode up, I always try to keep these at 15 minutes. We got about a minute left, is going to be my talk I'm giving at Lean Scaper's event next week. I'm going to Charlotte. I'm super excited. I'm wrapping up the conference on Tuesday with a keynote talk titled Sweat Equity. I'm so excited for this because our industry is going through a massive, massive transformation. Private equity is changing the rules at which we play by. And there is a massive opportunity to create generational wealth in our businesses. Sweat equity is the idea of working hard within a business to grow equity. Now, some may think this is, and it is, right, like a way of gaining equity from a founder or a partner, your parents maybe. But sweat equity is also the idea of making the equity that you hold today, whether it's 1% or 100%, more valuable. And that is exactly what I'm going to be talking about next week. Now, I don't necessarily mean you need to make it more valuable so you can sell. I mean, make it more valuable so you create a business that you can run, that you can cash flow, that you can, if you want, ultimately sell. But the main thing is building generational wealth through this idea of sweat equity, working hard to put in the systems, working hard to scale the company, working hard to build a culture, working hard to create marketing and a sales engine that keeps your organic growth above 30% annual compounded growth rate. Those are the things we're going to be talking about at Lean Scaper, and those who are going, I can't wait to see you guys there. I will do a recap podcast, although it'll only be 15 minutes on my talk, and I'll give you guys some of the takeaways, but it'll be just a teaser. You really got to be in person to get the full experience. So with that, hope you guys are having a great start to Q3. We hit on a lot of topics. Today was a bit of a bouncing around podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And with that, keep crushing it. Keep raising the bar. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to TradesTalk, where the next generation of disruptors comes to raise the bar. If you got value from today's episode, share it with someone in the trades who's ready to level up. For more tools, insights, and community, follow host Justin White and join the movement at jwhitegroup.com.